Jubilation 40 from the house of Amouage is up for full review today. Here is the box, got a slip cover on it. We are going to be talking more about this presentation and covering a whole other plethora of things regarding this scent. Let's talk about it. Alrighty, let's hop in more to that presentation. So basically here's the box here on the front. You got the name of the house, Amouage, you got their logo, and then it says gift from the kings, and it's kind of got like a gold kind of flaky type of essence kind of going off the box. You got a QR code there. On the back you got Amouage. It's got like a circle, or it's got, I guess, A-N-O-M on the back there too, and then Amouage at the bottom. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this presentation, but it slips on there, box there, and then you got this right here. So you got the fragrance bottle. It's sits snug in this box here. Let me get it out for you all. There we go, put that there. Here is the bottle here. So it's kind of like a, you got the bottle, and then you got like a paint gradient, like they put some paint down in here to, you can't really see the juice, basically is all I'm trying to say, is they got the juice covered. But if you put this up against the light, like if I'm looking at it and there was a light above me, I could see the juice if I lift it up, and I can kind of see it now a little bit above, and it's got a necklace on it. The cap, it is a magnetic cap, which is nice, and then at the bottom you got a little sticker just talking about how much fragrance is in the bottle here, which this one here is a 100 ml, and this is an extrait. This is an extrait. So there was another fragrance, Jubilation 25. That one is that one was the first one. This one is the second one. They made this one an extrait, but let's go ahead and hop more into how this fragrance smells. The notes of the fragrance are actually on the slip cover, so let me just read those off to you all. Basically, in the top, you are going to get some blackberry, you're going to get some blackcurrant, could get some rosemary, some labdanum, orange, and davana, and then in the heart or the mid, there is a note called Scotch broom. Don't even know what that is. Then you got some frankincense, cinnamon, clove, and then you got a bay leaf. And then you got some rose and some celery seed. And then the base, you could pick up things such as patchouli, cistus, opanox, myrrh, cedarwood, gaiac wood, musk, moss, ambergris, oud. This fragrance does have a lot of notes in it, and when it comes to Amouage, they always do have a lot of notes. But when it comes to this fragrance, this is going to be an amber forward fragrance here. Basically, you are going to get something that is woody, balsamic as well, warm and fresh spice. Also could get a little touch of that oud, aromatic too, and patchouli, I would say, that comes along with the scent. But this, for me, predominantly is an amber scent followed by some woods. You do get some fruity sweetness. I will say how the fruits come across in this scent. It's not something that is going to be like that syrupy sweet. So that blackberry doesn't come off that way. It's kind of more of a, I would say, realistic fruit, kind of when you're pulling it off the bush or off the tree. You do get a little touch of that blackcurrant as well. I don't really get much of that orange that they talked about in this, but maybe it's there to kind of even out that sweetness from the other two fruits in the scent, those blackcurrants and the blackberry. But you can tell this is an Amouage scent. This has got their DNA through and through the scent because all of those base notes. It's a base note heavy type of scent, I will say. From the original, I haven't smelled that one for a hot minute, but if I remember right, that one's got a little bit of a honey facet. This one doesn't really have that to my nose. It doesn't really have that honey facet. It's more, I would say, bold, more focused on the warm spice. You do get a little fresh spice. I feel like the OG, so 25, is a little bit more fresher when it comes to that. It's a little bit more focused on the fresh spice, that kind of honeyed sweetness. This is more focused on that fruity sweetness when it comes to this scent. And you do get that spiciness from that cinnamon as well. That is very prominent. And I do get a little touch of that oud, but the oud's not going to be too barnyard-esque. It's going to be kind of just there, kind of being in a supporting role. Now, as this fragrance dries down, it gets a little bit more musky to my nose. Also, too, that cedarwood's going to be very prominent. The ambers, the notes that kind of go along with the amber, such as the frankincense, for example, are really going to pop out. And you're really going to get that, like fragrances, for prime example, Interlude Black Iris. Those are two fragrances I have, or actually I have Interlude Black Iris. I'm very familiar with that one. And it does have that Amouage kind of DNA, kind of Middle Eastern tinge. That's all I'm trying to say. Those two fragrances do not smell the same. This one, Jubilation 40 and Interlude Black Iris, do not smell the same, but they got the same backbone. They got that kind of Middle Eastern flair to it that this house is known for overall when it comes to these scents in these type of bottles here. Now, I will say overall, this is a scent that is going to last. It's got great longevity. You're going to be looking at somewhere between, I would say, maybe 15 to 18 hours on that longevity on this one for me off my skin. That X-Straight, it isn't lying to you here. Nice blend here. It's blended smoothly. No screechiness to me. I will say you might get some animalic tones with this one too, because I feel like from that original, it's got a little bit more of that amped up sweetness. This one's got more of that woody amber feel to it that it's really focusing on. Don't get me wrong, it does have that sweetness. It does have that fruity sweetness. You are going to get the blackberry very prominent. I get the blackberry more than the blackcurrant in the scent here, but this one here overall reminds me of luxury. It reminds me of somebody that is going to a gold palace, for example. It reminds me of gold. And I mean, look at the bottle here. It's even got a little necklace, got a little diamond in there, gold bottle. So yeah, it's going to remind me of royalty a little bit just because of the based off the bottle and everything. But that's how it reminds me of somebody that is kind of upper echelon. It kind of paints pictures into my head of what I've seen online. I've never been on this side of the world, but in the Middle East at all, when I see those big kind of gold castles and all that jazz, that's what this one reminds me of here. It reminds me of a guy that's, you know, he's made of wealth. That's what it reminds me of, and this is what's going to get you smelling like wealth overall. I forgot to go back to the projection of the scent. I would say this scent projects nicely. You're going to get maybe around, I would say, 7 to 8 hours of projection. I would say early on, this is going to be projecting anywhere from 4 feet early, I would say. Maybe the first 2 to 3 hours, pushing 4, it's going to be a solid 4 off my skin. And then after that, you're going to be looking at about 3. You're going to be looking about 3 feet from the skin there after that 4th hour, and then the rest, so going on to that 8 hour there. So 4 feet early and then going into the 3 feet. But this is no slouch. You're still going to smell it on that longevity standpoint after that 8th hour. Like I mentioned, this is going anywhere between 15 to 18 hours for me off the skin on the longevity standpoint. So this is nice in that facet too. And it's not too overbearing, I would say. This is a strong fragrance, but it's not like some of those gourmands that are syrupy sweet, that are just gonna hurt people's noses when they smell it, just gonna blast you in the face. I would feel like this is a well-blended, nice scent that it's not gonna overbear somebody if they smell it. But of course, I've only done a few sprays of this because that's all you need, I feel like. I've only put like 2 or 3 sprays on this since I got my bottle in. I did have a sample before, and that's what I was using before, but I wanted to get around to get this Jubilation 40 because I really enjoyed how they took the depth, but they were able to still mix in that blackberry sweetness with the depth that the house is known for. But if you want kind of that Amouage DNA scent that kind of gives you a little realistic berry sweetness, this is the one I would look at. I would say the Amouage 25, that one's going to be more of that honey focused sweetness. You don't get me wrong, you still get the blackberry in that, but that one is going to be more focused on, it's going to be a little fresher as well. This one I feel like a little bit more has that warm spice. You're going to get more of that oud coming out in this one too, like I mentioned, and patchouli. When this dries down, it goes into a chocolatey patchouli for me. Of course, this is not gourmand, but you know how patchoulis can go kind of green, earthy? That's not what this one does for me. I do get a little chocolate tinge, how the patchouli comes across in the base of this scent, but I do get those musk. Those are going to be prominent. I do get the cedar wood. That's going to be prominent as well. And then you got the oud kind of in the base of the scent along with the woods, of course, because it is in the base. But this one is very nice, and I actually got this one for a very good price. I got it for around $250, which I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh my gosh. I got this from a discounter, of course, and I was like, man, I couldn't pass it up. I've been waiting on this bottle for a long time, and I haven't told any of you all this, but when I was early on into my fragrance journey, Amouage was one of the first niche houses I got into, and I highly recommend, if you are early on in your journey, do not get into this house first, because their scents have a lot of notes. They're very complex. They take time to get used to, especially if you haven't smelled anything with like a little Middle Eastern flair. It could throw you off. And my first fragrance was Interlude Black Iris from the house, and I do have Reflection Man as well. But man, I remember getting that scent in because I was influenced kind of a little bit. Person I watch on YouTube was talking about it, and I picked it up. Biggest mistake, but the reason I picked it up is because I got it from a good price. When I picked up that scent, I got it for like $150. That's like how much designers are going for. I was like, I couldn't pass that up, and it's for the big bottle, for the 100 ml. So I picked it up, smelled it, and I got that BO smell, and I haven't got that out of my head, so I haven't really gone back to that scent. It's been a hot minute since I sprayed it on. Maybe I should, since I've smelled a lot more things these days. But be careful with Amouage in the whole house. They do have a lot of creative stuff, and they do have a lot of mass appealing stuff. Like prime example, Outlands. That is a mass appealing scent that they recently just came out with too. And I've tried another scent from the house called Timber. I really enjoy it. That's kind of a little bit more of a mass appealing scent as well. Jubilation kind of goes back to that original DNA a little bit, where it does have a little mass appeal to it, but it's more on that kind of people really into fragrances type of vibe here. So you do have to be careful of that. I would say this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Like, you're not going to go up to somebody that's just used to smelling aquatic scents and they're going to right off the bat like this. It's going to take them some time. You got to let the nose develop overall. But this scent here is very nice, very pleasant, smells like royalty. I would say I would wear this in a higher occasion, like basically a wedding, for example, or if I was going to a business meeting, I might even wear this, put a few sprays on there. You got to be careful with the sprays with this one, of course, because it's extrate. But I wouldn't wear this running errands, okay? This wouldn't be something I'd be wearing running errands. Fall and winter time, I feel like this one would be an excellent performer during those times of the year, maybe early spring, but definitely summer. This could be a little bit too cloying. Overall, I would feel like this is right in the middle for me, completely unisex, maybe with a little tinge of leaning masculine, just because this one here is a scent that I feel like, because of the ambers, because of the woods, because of the oud, the way it comes across, and because of that berry, it's not really a gourmand-esque berry. It's not like a berry, syrupy, sweet berry. This is more of a fresh berry in the way the sweetness comes across as well. This is leaning more masculine, because I know some fragrances from the house of Amouage, they do say like, Reflection Man, or they have the women's version of it. Well, I know some of the women's versions, some men's can wear it and vice versa, but this one for me is unisex, leaning a little bit more masculine as the fragrance dries down overall. I wouldn't really want a woman to be, at least I wouldn't want to really smell this on a woman overall. I'm not saying a woman can't wear it, but just how my viewpoint is on this scent here. So Amouage Jubilation 40, very nice scent. If you're looking for that original DNA and kind of amped up with the performance and a little bit more focused on the deeper notes, the more of the warm spice, the ambers, the woods, compared to that honeyed sweetness, that fruit, which this does have that fruity sweetness, but it's kind of bared back a little bit. But it's a nice blended scent from the house of Amouage. I really enjoy it. Jubilation 40, definitely for me. I got a full bottle, so this is going to be maybe about an 8.8 for me. This is reaching 9 territory. I really enjoy this scent. When I was sampling this house, when it was, like I mentioned, it was one of the first niche houses I really sampled. This was the one that sticked out to me, along with Overture Man. Both of those were excellent scents. I still haven't got my bottle of Overture Man. I'll have to get that here pretty soon. But definitely really enjoy Jubilation 40 and the way it's blended and how the fruits come along with the heavier notes in the scent overall. But let me know your comments down below what you all think about Jubilation 40 if you've got your hands on this. And what do you think about the house of Amouage overall? What's your favorite scent? I'll be very curious to hear in the comments down below. I appreciate you all spending a little bit of your time of your day learning more about the house of Amouage and the fragrance Jubilation 40 here. It means a lot to me. But don't leave just yet, because there will be my fragrance playlist with things such as challenges, reviews, first impressions, and there'll also be a video that the YouTube algorithm thinks you need to check out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and like that video. Means a lot to me as well, really helps it out. And with all that being said, I will see you all in the next video.